Hello and welcome to Shanghai Eye. I'm Chen Xuan.
Hello, I'm He Jian. How to work out in China? You could, of course, go to a run-of-the-mill gym and pay a membership fee. But you could also easily find ellipticals and row-and rides that are in almost every residential compound in a city like Shanghai. Of all the people that exercise outside, the elderly always manage to work out in ways that turn heads. Every dry morning, you'll find them pumping away downstairs with surprising strength. Sun Siqi brings Xiaowang and exercises with Shanghai's elders and learns some new workout tips.
Chinese headquarters of Avengers. I should get retired today, huh? Way to combat osteoporosis. You don't need any of your 3,000 kwai gyms. Biceps are being burned. I'm Siqi. That's my sidekick.
哎呦，我吓我一跳。
First of all, find these self-powered, no-resistance machines at almost every residential compound or right across the street in this lovely neighborhood. The stretch facilities look like nothing, but they really pull your body. And they're great for under-exercise, overage college grads whose fitness levels have gone to zero. I can do this. I can do this.
会不会很累？
If I do 100 rounds of these, this starts to soar by a tiny little bit. The calories burned is estimated to be about the same as walking. But if you really put your work to it, they can work to help you. For these cheap row and rides, use the upper pedal for more resistance. If you really do this 1,000 rounds of this, you should get really strong arms. And then you meet a bunch of seniors who seem to be moderately crippled but start to roll the moment they feel the metal. Watch and learn. She has less body fat than I do.
哎呦喂！
Today, China's social media channels are packed with young people who woe at their own meager muscle measurements and receding hairline compared against the old people who use the most humble exercise equipment that doesn't cost a nickel. The more you film them, the more they all start to show off a little bit.
早上10000步，80岁的阿姨90岁，你咋乱说？
Show him how this
I
is
can
done.
do this.
You can do this.
Yeah,
You
sure.
up.
OK。等一下，我先缓一缓。
Xiaowang, I wondered how old they are
42周岁，他比我小12岁。
14岁。
我都这儿了，
and what they did for a living.
铁路工人，当兵的。
我打工的。骗吧。
For the working class of this era, the men retired at 60-ish, the ladies retired at 55-ish. They're nothing like your sour-faced adults that are still at work. One should not forget that these folks survived some of China's toughest years and are arguably the sturdiest.
年轻的时候吧，根本就没有时间玩。36岁以后就胖了。
Elder gentleman said, you ought to keep practicing, otherwise you can't do this, even if you're 20 years old. And be fully ready for a charade of advice on fitness and wellness.
他胖了，我们实话实说，是吧？你不要不高兴。
They say if I lose 20 pounds, I would look gorgeous. I keep getting body shamed by that club. Go for something that is more appropriate for me. The senior ladies love dancing and Tai Chi. Each group has the leader, just follow them. There are locals who form groups spontaneously.
我们反正也不付费。
Nobody said, you can't be here, or why are you here? What are you doing What here? I learned today, these people only like to do stuff outside when they get some fresh air. Not a lot of Chinese senior citizens enjoy soaking up particles of rubber and other people's feet. And that everything can be used for massage, including a tree. And it hurts a lot. I think it really stimulates your palms.
So, what do you think?
I don't know, He Jian, but if that's level 2, I have no idea what's coming up next.
But I gotta say, the dancers and stretchers seem quite comfy.
Well, that's right. So now let's quickly check out what Siqi has for us for level 3.
50 kilos.
All that I weighed in 2019.
Yeah, the Grandmasters. Seniors from the Stone Locks and Barbells Association can play tricks with locks and barbells that weigh 5 to 300 kilos.
对，
One jing is half a kilo.
Xiaowang, oh, you were here yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, I expect you to be able to do all of this. Whoa, like you're becoming a genius, Xiaowang.
The locks are basically kettlebells that are made of stone, and it's surprisingly easy to get started.
你腰不能动，你腰得立起来，腿要叉开一点。手是这样，然后对，跟肩并立，幅度大一些。然后你这个手要稍微抬高一点。
Okay, maybe you should go teach the elderly people.
I can.
Then shut up.
It supposedly started 2,000 years ago as strength training for the emperor's soldiers. It then spread from the military and the court guards to the commoners who like to practice this simply as a sport.
This gentleman is in leather shoes, a men's shirt.
In 2007, the sport was added to Shanghai's intangible cultural heritage list. An association was set up for it in 2012. Members varies in age from 30-something to 72. Anyone can practice for free. To join the association costs from some tests and a fee of 50 kwai a month.
Getting the gist of this. 小王要跟这里哪一位同志扳手腕？
In many of Shanghai's communities, you find these public-run, subsidized facilities for all ages. Basketball courts at 6 to 9 kwai an hour, tennis courts at 30 kwai an hour, free or almost free gyms. More sophisticated ones are more expensive, like this one's $169 a month. Personal trainers are $268 an hour. At noon on a weekday, you got quite a lot of traffic.
I don't want my name to show up on that and let people see I just burned like 10 calories and I sat down to have some potato chips.
There aren't any old people, but you get to train your body in multiple ways to be able to match up with
你的
them.
腿要打直，腿不能往两边弯，腰又超太多了，腰都已经快120度，往上开，不是往侧面开。然后到底之后你要停1到2秒钟。
Look at Mr. I can do all the workouts.
A stand-up comedian once said, in Shanghai, you'd find about 1 million senior citizens who look like they're about 100 years old, which is kind of true. At least 5.5 million people in Shanghai are 60 or older. New York City has 8 million people, all ages included. What I learned today, number 1, elderly Chinese people are infinitely fit.
With Chinese old people, there's no yachting, there's no golfing, there's no country clubbing, there's no Whole Foods running.
They're only the most meager facilities that are met with discipline and determination. Number 2, if you need help from any Chinese senior, always say they look about 45 to 55, which most of them do. No, they don't know such thing as the Western speech etiquette. But they're still a jolly and friendly bunch. The machines are infinitely customizable as long as it feels safe for them. But if you want to survive, try any of these public workout facilities across the city. Official data show the number of these public-run gyms, big or small, courts, walkways, bike paths, all these open-air stretch workout places amount to 23,000. You must be able to find one with ease.
How do people work out in public where you live? Let me know in the comment section down below.
Interesting. Here comes my second question for you. So, which one do you see yourself trying?
Well, maybe the stone weights. I mean, judging by what Siqi did, that one looks maybe the easiest for me. But it is true that weights is the best way to build muscle and also to increase your overall strength.
Yeah, that one really looks a little bit challenging. But if I am able to do the tricks with the kettlebells and the stone locks, maybe I'll also go to Lucian Park to show off a little bit to the public by myself someday.
Well, let me know if you really do. In today's Shanghai A to Z section, we offer you an introduction to the special service provided by airports for young solo traveler between the ages 5 and 12. The General Administration of Civil Aviation has launched the service for unaccompanied children who are escorted through checking, security, boarding, and arrival. Here's what parents need to do about the service. First of all, the service can be reserved in advance through airline websites, apps, physical stores, or by calling customer service. And then on the day of departure, the responsible adult should arrive at the airport 2 hours before the flight departure time and complete the check-in procedure at the designated counter. Now, the drop-off person needs to stay at the airport until at least 30 minutes after the flight departs in the event of flight delays or cancellation, so the child will be placed back in their care. The child will be escorted by airport staff through priority lanes, ensuring a speedy check-in process. They will then be accompanied to the boarding gate, where they'll be handed over to the airport staff. And on board, the cabin crew will show them to their seat and take care of them throughout the flight. Ground service personnel will meet the child upon arrival and hand them over to the person authorized to pick them up. And now it's time for the Shanghai Eye Q&A. Today's question is from Brown in New Zealand. Well, I'm from New Zealand and planning to travel to China. I've heard that I can enter the country more easily thanks to the visa-free policy. Do I need more documents in addition to the passport when entering the country? Well, currently foreign nationals traveling for purposes of business, tourism, visiting family or friends, and transit through the PRC can be allowed to enter China without a visa. As you are coming here for tourism, you should bring any and all documents such as proof of your return flight as well as reservations of accommodation. If you have any questions for us, you can find us on all the socials.
We'd love to hear from you. You can find all our content online as well and join us here on Dragon TV Monday to Friday.
Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.